Hello everybody, Real Spell Perspective here. Please scroll down and subscribe to me real quick. Today is March 16th, 2023, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2024 United States Senate election in Ohio. Now, coming into it, this is a very critical race for both parties, the Republicans and Democrats, as it's highly competitive and it is absolutely viewed as a tipping point for the majority in the United States Senate. We'll get more into that as the video goes on. But looking at it, Sherrod Brown is the Democratic incumbent. He's been comfortably elected to 3 terms, going for his 4th term, as he has already declared well over a year and a half in advance of the election. And the thing is, Ohio has very much shifted red in recent election cycles. You see, in 2000, Bush, and 2004, Bush crucially won the state to be elected both times. And in 08 and 12, the state went to Obama. In 2016, Trump flipped it, and it was one of the big states towards him getting elected. And in 2020, it stayed with Trump, despite the fact that Trump lost the election and was disapproved of big time nationwide. So it's become a red state, as you can see recently, and in fact, Sherrod Brown is the only remaining statewide office holder in Ohio. See, back in 2022, just this past November, it was a wide open Senate race in Ohio, and Republican J.D. Vance, who had not held a political office before this, came in and defeated Democratic candidate Tim Ryan by 6 points. J.D. Vance was endorsed by former President Trump. And the thing is, J.D. Vance could not run a campaign to save his life. And again, he still won by 6 points in a year that wasn't really a blue wave or red wave. It was kind of just a neutral year. Like any incumbent that ran pretty much won. So yeah. It calls for an interesting 2024 because, again, Sherrod Brown, only Democratic statewide officer left in Ohio as the state shifts red. But both parties are going for the seat hard. The Republicans had one candidate declared, and that is State Senator Matt Dolan. They have had some publicly expressed interest from a U.S. Representative in Warren Davidson and Frank LaRose, their Secretary of State. So the odds are, it's not guaranteed, but it looks like Sherrod Brown will, in fact, face someone who does have prior political experience, which definitely could help here in the competitive race. And you want to look back to Sherrod Brown's electoral history. He was first elected back in 2006, unseating Senator Mike DeWine, who won big back in 2000. 2006, though, if you want to look at Senate elections, 2006 was very much a blue wave year amid the unpopularity of President George W. Bush. You see a lot of blue across this map. And Sherrod Brown was a part of that blue wave for the Democrats. And he won big time. He was very popular from the get-go in Ohio. And in 2012, here's where it gets kind of interesting. This one coincided with the presidential election, and you see Sherrod Brown won 50.7% of the vote. Remember that number, 50.7% of the vote in Ohio. And then in the 2012 presidential election, Barack Obama, look what the percentage he got. 50.67%. Obama's vote share and Brown's vote share were very similar. Pretty much in Ohio, when you casted a ballot, if you checked your name, or if you checked Obama's name off, you were also checking off Brown's name on that same ballot. So that kind of goes to show that the national mood voted with the Democrats and Sherrod Brown there. And in 2018, Sherrod Brown won by 7 points to a Republican named Jim Renacci, I believe is how you say it. But the thing is, yeah, 7 points of favor, that's a likely margin. That looks impressive. But you take into account, 2018 was also a blue wave year. Switching back with being president and Senate like crazy. 2018, You see mostly blue across this map, and if you were to look at the House elections, you would see uh, 2018 was very much a blue wave year. You don't really see it a whole lot here. If I compare it to the 2016 election, you will see this was very much a blue wave year. And with that, Sherrod Brown was able to win by 7 points, and also Jim Renacci here, he could not run a campaign to save his life, and all that considered, Brown still only won by less than 7 points. So it calls for an interesting 2024 in Ohio. And see, another interesting factor here is looking back at the 2018 elections, the last time this wave was up, the Republicans were able to nab 4 states from the Democrats in North Dakota, Missouri, Indiana, and Florida. Ohio was one of the 10 states that was won by Trump in 2016 that the Democrats had to defend, and one of the 6 they successfully did defend. But the thing is, now, North Dakota, Missouri, and Indiana are not competitive anymore on the Senate level whatsoever. Florida is not nearly competitive to the extent it was in 2018. It is likely a Republican state. So with that, the Democrats are defending 3 states that they won in... They lost, that the Trump won in 2020. Ohio, West Virginia, and Montana. So these are the 3 states that the Republicans are going to viciously attack the most with their money and resources. So that is another factor working against Sherrod Brown here. There's a lot working against him, but he is popular, so he could absolutely win. And if you want to take a look at my Senate predictions here from, I uploaded these a couple weeks ago. I have it at 52 to 48 right now, but say Arizona, who I had as the most competitive state there, say that one goes Democratic. In that case, if the Democrats were to win the presidency again in 2024, the balance of the Senate would hang in Ohio. So I predicted the Republicans to win it as of a couple weeks ago, and I still kind of do think that'll happen now. But the thing is, I'm just showing you, this is definitely the tipping point of the Senate here. Can Sherrod Brown, the popular incumbent, win here? Or will the Republicans be able to capitalize on the fact that this state has shifted red? It definitely helps them that this coincides with the presidential election, considering how closely they vote presidential-wise and Senate-wise, and how much Donald Trump has appealed to the state. So Donald Trump's presidential candidacy, if he is the Republican nominee, that could definitely hurt Sherrod Brown in 2024, whereas if it's someone like Ron DeSantis, that could help Sherrod Brown because he doesn't appeal as much to the Rust Belt. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. That is all I have for now. Please join my new Discord server. I have that in my description. And again, please, please, please subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. This is Rust Belt Perspective signing out.